T-Rex, are you in there behind all these geraniums that are inside for the winter? You ready to start your day? Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. From TK and T-Rex, Steve's at home in Weymouth, and T-Rex is at the end of his line. He'd love to keep on going. It's a cool gray morning here on Bass River. Rex will go farther in a few minutes, and the temperature is 47. When we went to sleep last night, there was frost, and it was 34 degrees because it was calm. But we live next to the ocean, so the ocean is going to impact our weather. I had a request. Someone says, bring back the ice bucket. You got it. We're going to have an ice bucket. This is one of them on Cape Cod. About 2.5 inches of water in there. That's from the rain we've had intermittently over the last 10 days. Well, here it comes again. Talk about drought-busting weather pattern. It's been coast to coast. Now, a couple of weeks ago, those storms we had were sitting over us for days and days, and it was taking more than a week for systems to cross from the Pacific to the Atlantic. Well, not now. The block in the North Atlantic has shifted a little bit. Now we have more blocking in eastern Canada, and this system bearing down on New England right now. It's already precipitating in a lot of spots. It came in off the Pacific a couple days ago, and it raced across the country, and that's more typical, where it takes 3 days for a system to cross the country, and it left a swath of snow in the Sierra Nevada. Carter Murphy says he's got the most snow he's seen on the ground in November since 2010, about 20 inches of snow in the Sierra, and also just west of Denver, Colorado yesterday. Alex Kaufman getting it done on his plastic skis near Boulder, also a couple of feet of snow. And then the system kind of flattened out, and it wasn't a snowstorm, but it is again now. It's snowing in central and northern New England, more north than central. And why isn't it precipitating on Cape Cod? Here's the radar. The green is the rain, the blue is the snow, and it shows precipitation. But over the south coast, it's more evaporating right now because of the dynamic. You see, warm air holds more water vapor than cold. And the fact that the ocean water temperature down here is in the 50s, our temperature jumped into the 50s. So it's precipitating aloft, and it's going to saturate its way down to the surface. However, in colder air, the cold in northern New England last night it's holding, even though we don't really have a strong high to the north. It's been a pretty cold air mass. And so the temperature map, I'll put the dew point and temperature on this map. And if your dew point and temperature are near at 32 or lower, you're probably having a mostly snow storm. Springfield, Vermont, right in the middle of the map here. The temperature was, about 32 with a dew point of 28. And those two numbers come together at about 30 and then start to rise a little bit. Springfield, Vermont may see snow change to rain. But that was the lowest visibility I saw this morning in Springfield. The visibility by 7:30, 8 o'clock was down to a half a mile. And the way to gauge how fast snowfall accumulates is by the visibility. Let's take a look at some of these webcams at these ski areas that I talked about. The webcam at Mount Snow, that looks like visibility similar to Springfield, down to about a half mile. And that's about a half inch per hour snowfall when your visibility is a half mile. If your visibility is 3/4 of a mile, it's snowing lighter. Your accumulation's more like a 1/4 inch per hour. And it looks like it was just ramping up at Sunapee. Yesterday I strung out the connection between the line between Mount Snow and here at Sunapee. And then the other one I mentioned was Sunday River, because I think this is the axis of where we're going to have the heaviest precipitation. That should be all snow at most elevations at these three resorts. It's Sunday River, it was just getting going. So if your visibility is a mile or more, you're probably only accumulating less than 0.2 of an inch per hour. And then on the other hand, if your visibility gets down to a 1/4 of a mile, some of the stations in New York are reporting a 1/4 of a mile off the Great Lakes, then your snowfall is greater than 1 inch per hour. So there's not much changing to the logic of this system. It's very dynamic. I think we do end up with some pretty good rain on Cape Cod. Yesterday I was thinking maybe not, but the HRRR says maybe so. So let's go right to the HRRR high resolution rapid refresh model. It's supposed to be the fanciest and best, and this is from the 1 a.m. run. And there is the mix of snow, blue, and some sleet, purple, and the green is rain. And you see almost a second front, almost one boundary across central New England and another boundary near the south coast with some heavy downpours, slight chance of some thunder near the south coast this afternoon. And then all of a sudden around 3 o'clock, that's about 20Z, you have dry weather near Boston. The rain's letting up in southern New England as the low goes right across and off Cape Ann. This is a deepening low. It's going to go down to about 990 when it goes offshore. And initially, with the air coming in from the southeast, It's only windy near the coast and in some of the hills, and then we're all going to become windy as this low pulls out tomorrow. Back edge of the snow leaves Maine, and again, just like yesterday's logic, about a 12-hour event. Here is I'm going to start with the QPF, I guess, the quantitative precipitation, that is rain and or melted snow. And you see the little hole right there over Boston. It looks like a little dry slot trying to work in with heavier rain on the south coast. I'm kind of surprised to see this. We'll see if this works out. Connecticut to Cape Cod getting more than an inch, and then your mountains mostly in central Vermont through central and north central Maine as that low expands and gets stronger. You have some heavier precip amounts up there, and if you get over an inch, it's about an average of an inch of H2O, and that equates on a 10-to-1 ratio to about 10 inches of snow. Now let's go to the snowfall accumulation map, and you can make it out. I'm kind of surprised how hard it was snowing in Springfield, Vermont already, but I think that may change over to a wetter snow, and maybe the visibility goes up a little bit, and it's going to be more of an elevation dependent. 12 hours times an average of 3/4 of an inch per hour comes out to about 9 inches of snow at most of our ski resorts. And it'll be fluffier snow at the tops of the mountains, so anything above 2,000 feet, you're probably going to get more than a foot of snow. And yes, somebody asked, does this include Sugarloaf? And it does include Sugarloaf. I think we'll stop it here at the end. Look at that lake effect snow really kicking in there at the end. And if we stop it and put the cursor near the Carrabassett Valley, it does show about 15 inches of snow possible for the highest elevations of Maine. That's because I think it's going to snow a little longer, and it's a little colder. The colder it is, the more moisture you can wring out. Like I said yesterday, though, the missing factor is we don't have high pressure to the north. We have kind of a low pressure system to the north. It's a big upper level low. And once the system takes off on us, game over for any serious widespread snow. So the first widespread snowstorm in most of our ski areas happening right on Thanksgiving Day. And we've got some announcements that the Vail people have decided that Stowe and Mount Snow are both opening on Tuesday. So it's going to look and feel plenty like winter by Tuesday. I looked at my friends working on the skating rink this morning at Stowe, at Mount Mansfield, in the snow, and the skating rink is open. So maybe I'll go skating before I go skiing if I can get up there, probably Sunday night. So after the system near the coast, we're probably going to have pretty dry air and plenty of sunshine, but there will be some scattered instability showers of snow over the next several days as it gradually turns colder each day. And look at this Boston 15 day. It says no precipitation, and the fact that the red shade and the blue shade are so narrow, it means it's sort of a high confidence forecast of the temperature anyway, with a high in the 30s and a low in the 20s. Maybe we'll have safe ice. No, we're not going to have safe ice. Every time I say that for early December, it doesn't work. That's going through next week, but probably add some precipitation to one of those days. Let's go to the Euro now and go day by day, play by play. And here's our low going right across southern New England this afternoon and tonight. And if you want to go for a walk after dinner in the Boston area, it may work out. It may dry out, but the wind's going to let up for a short time, and then it's going to start picking up from the west and the northwest tomorrow night. This low and the low to our north are kind of rotating around to our north, and the high pressure system's way out there in the west. You see the highs building more from western Canada down into the southeastern United States. So we're going to have this sort of low barometer cold. They call it very unstable. Temperatures in the sky are going to be getting colder and colder. There'll be tons of lake effect snows, and some of those lake effect snows could make it all the way into the northeast. I think you saw a little bit of that on that HRRR. And then next Wednesday, there's a low going south of New England. So that's one we can watch for maybe bringing in some precipitation near the coast on Wednesday, although it stays offshore. Yesterday it had it onshore. And then Thursday night and Friday, that is a serious second Arctic front, or maybe the first Arctic front, pure Arctic air coming in here next weekend. And if we stop it on Saturday, just so many lines. Temperature is going to be in the single numbers north and teens and 20s south, maybe still near 30 at the coast, with a lot of wind and instability. Snow showers or flurries possible. No organized storm. The organized storm is missing us just off the map. And if I change the perspective on next Saturday, look at this. Oh man, that's a 9:55 storm, massive blizzard on the east coast of Canada, and we're just south of that. So I don't think that there's a chance that's going to go south. That's kind of where the deepest storms go often this time of year. But the strong high there, 1035 high over Hudson Bay, is going to be delivering a direct discharge of air from the North Pole into New England. And how cold is that high? Well, I snagged an image from this morning This was about 5 a.m. local here in the east, and you can see the high pressure system in Western Canada, and you see right on the border with the Northwest Territory of Canada and Alaska, right on that border, that's 40 degrees below zero. So our first 40 below zero air is showing up on our side of the North Pole, and that means we have record challenging cold in the forecast 1 week from Saturday. Yeah, I was going to say 1 week from today, but you get your days messed up when it's Thanksgiving. It's Thursday. And Darius on Cape Cod, I'm very thankful for the videos that you post every single day. And here's the magical sunrise. What do you say? You may not know what's in Aunt Edna's secret casserole, but you're going to be thankful for it anyway. And we're thankful for you, Darius, and we're thankful for Mother Nature serving up this weather casserole on our New England Thanksgiving. And I hope you enjoy. For Enmore, the weather part's over. For the Enmore yesterday, Rex took me for a walk in the back, and we had this nice view of Boston, and it was a pretty nice Wednesday. And then the travel was not really too much of a problem, but Route 3 southbound was going fine, but then about 6 cars kind of did, I think they all kind of, what do you call it when 6 cars all hit one another? Back up, pile up, not pile up. It was an easy accident. No one was hurt, but it really snarled up traffic. And no problem. I got just ahead of that, got over the bridge. And so here's the Enmore with, how about a time lapse from Dennis, if it works, if my cam works. I haven't even checked out to see if my cam works. And T-Rex climbing Mount Worm Farm compost pile. Oh yeah, some good smells in there, T-Rex, no doubt. All right, and next year's pumpkins. Right in there. Did they leave us any seeds? All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Time to cook, peel potatoes, and eat, and work and walk it off, and enjoy all the parades on TV. They've already happened, Tim. Talk to you tomorrow. What do they say? Planes, trains, and automobiles on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving? How about a ferry and a plane? Each headed off toward the west. One is going into the wind, and the other is just taking its route through the west Hull gut. And we had some cold air advection clouds for a time, and there were warm air advection clouds, and now it's just mostly sunny, as you'll see in a time lapse, which we may show from Cape Cod and or Weymouth, or both maybe. Any sign of our ducks today? I don't know where they went. Why are they only here when it's raining? Oh, really pretty. Sun reflecting off the side of the plains. T-Rex, you want to go for a walk? You want to take me for a walk, Rex? You want me to put the leash on you, or are you going to bite me when I try and put the leash on? Let me do it. You ready to take me? T-Rex, take me for a walk. Hang on. I got to close the door. But he does listen, though, doesn't he? Hang on. All right, where are we going, Rex? Into the sun. Let's go into the sun. Yeah. You going for a Thanksgiving Day walk with the family and the dog? In the rain and the snow? The day before Thanksgiving, blue sky, beauty. Everything's all wet all of a sudden. Our stash of leaves. Still plenty of leaves. I think I got enough for now, though. They're more mushy. They fly better now when you kick them. Easier to condense. Let's see if any of the forsythia wants to bloom early or last December and January. You can actually cut these and bring them in, and they'll bloom for you. Where are we going, Rex? Going boating? Oh, there's the icebreaker. Charlie's icebreaker boat. Gonna clean the bottom, put it back in case we ever get some ice this year. You can see, interesting. Barnacles like that metal you put on there. Pretty. Blue on blue. How do you smell, Rex? What's that? So we get 1 day of precipitation, then a day of blue sky, and then another day of precipitation, and then another day of blue sky, and so on as it goes incrementally colder to close out November and to start December. Is it time-lapse time yet? Same color as the combination of maples and oaks. You blend with autumn. What is it, man? What do you see? 48 degrees at 3:45. There's the sun on the horizon. Got on the road, probably just about in time to get on the road with everyone else. And I am traveling with Birch. Yep, taking Birch on the road with me. All right, here's the time lapse of the beautiful Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoyed the walk with T-Rex. And we'll be walking no matter what kind of weather. Rain or wind or sun on Cape Cod tomorrow afternoon. I mean today. It was today, right? Yep. Talk to you tomorrow.